I'll put this question to you, Christy. Is this the closest, say, the world's top 7 or 8 nations have been, not necessarily between World Cups, but at any stage of the professional era? I can't think back to a time where we've got, teams beating teams. And, I think certainly you probably put South Africa out there at number 1, clearly. Well, maybe not clearly, but I think they're doing enough to hold that number 1 ranking. We know the Wallabies beat them twice down here. France picked off a game in Australia. The All Blacks have been beaten by Ireland now. Scotland have beaten Australia, as we said. It's all just, it's hard to get a clear read on, exactly what the pecking order is here at the moment. That's great for the game and great heading into the next World Cup. But it's just a wonder if one team kind of takes the next couple of years, or at least the 18 months leading into the World Cup, with a bit of a stranglehold, lays down some performances, said, yes, we're the team to beat in France 2023.
Yeah, and Paul Cully's actually raised that point a couple of times in his columns, and he's been bang on the money. 2015, I thought, well, when you've got England missing out on the finals, that shows the game's in pretty good health. I think it is even tighter now. And you look at what's ahead, and you think Fiji can only get better, because we know the eligibility laws are slightly changing, but also the introduction, and it's not a bad segue into the Super Rugby discussion, by having a Fiji and Drua side will only help the profile of the game to be able to retain some players, but also to be able to just showcase, well, you can play for Fiji, you've got a clear now channel into the international game, and your best Fijian players don't just have to come to Australia or neighbouring countries or find their way into, rich contracts into France or indeed the NRL. But, they're the sleeping giant, really, of world rugby. So Simon Rawalui, a friend of ours, having worked for the Wallabies previously and played in Shoot Shield the competitions in years gone by, he'll be licking his lips and really excited about the direction ahead for them. Japan, similarly too, strong competition that's only getting stronger, but also hopefully them coming into a rugby championship going forward would be great. The nation that I think world rugby really needs to make sure that they harness is Argentina, because when Argentina is pretty strong, I think the game is in richer health, because you need somewhere in the Americas playing well. Absolutely.
And of course, you think ahead to that World Cup in 2023, Australia, Fiji and Wales grouped together again after the last 2 World Cups, actually, both England in 2015 and then Japan in 2019. It's happened all over again. So there's going to be a couple of particularly big clashes there. And we know that the heat that Fijian team put the Wallabies under there in their opening game in Sapporo in that first half there a couple of years ago as well. So fascinating to keep an eye on that. And particularly when it pops up with the World Cup, of course.